Homograph. One word, two meanings. An example is dough. When you don't understand something, ask someone who knows. Book 25. Rollin' in the Dough. Luckily, the big moving mix-up got all straightened out. Mr. Brown's boxes should arrive in Tennessee on Monday or thereabout. We helped the Sanchez's unpack all weekend and get settled in. Monday morning we waved goodbye to Mr. Brown as he gave a huge grin. We dropped the pets off at the doghouse, then off to school by 8. It was 7:45, so we started to run. We didn't want to be late. The morning announcements were about the Fall Festival coming at last. Wow, it's been a year since we adopted Patsy. Time goes by fast. This year, our bakery booth will help Ellie advertise by selling her canned fruits, cookies, mini cakes, and pies. The next 2 weeks after school, we would help Ellie with her baking, canning, decorating, sampling too. This was success in the making. As we worked, the pets rested on the floor nice and calm. But Jean jumped up as our conversation led to Mr. Tom. It's almost a year since he went in that rehab facility to stay. Then Ellie coughed and cleared her throat as if she had something to say. "What's wrong, Mom?" asked Jess. "You look a little upset." "I know you kids promised to look after Jean, Mr. Tom's pet. You might want to visit Mr. Tom so Jean can say goodbye." Then she turned with a tissue so we couldn't see her cry. "Is he better?" asked Kaylin, "and moving back to the retirement place?" But we knew the answer was no by the look on Ellie's face. "Let's all take a break," said Ellie. "I'll drive you over in the van. Let me call and say we're coming to see him if we can." By the time we arrived, Mr. Tom was in a wheelchair outside in the lobby. A doctor came up to greet us. "Hello, kids. My name is Dr. Bobby." Jean ran over to Mr. Tom and started to lick his hand. Mr. Tom just sat and stared as we noticed his medical band. Dr. Bobby spoke. "Mr. Tom has dementia and forgets a lot of things. I'm here to help with this visit and the questions that it brings." For the next hour, Dr. Bobby explained about this medical disease. The leaves blew on the branches as Mr. Tom said, "What a lovely breeze." Dr. Bobby continued, "Some things he'll remember, but for the most he's not sure. It doesn't hurt, he's not in pain, but there is no miracle cure." The kids just sat and listened. Then Kevin said, "Is there anything we can do?" Kaylin jumped up with her famous pose, saying, "Let's help turn his gray sky blue." We weren't sure what she meant, but when Kaylin has an idea, watch out. You could see she was excited. This must be a really big one, no doubt. She said, "Let's raise money for research, for Mr. Tom and others like him." "That's our Kaylin," everyone cheered, "being hopeful when things look grim." That night as Kaylin laid in bed, she said a special prayer. "Even though Mr. Tom doesn't remember us, please let him know we care." Next day at school, we told Ms. Wellen about our plans to help raise money. "No matter where you kids go," she said, "you make things bright and sunny." With 2 weeks till the fair, we had a lot to do on our plate. We wanted our booth to be special. This was going to be great. Our days and nights were filled with work. You couldn't keep us down. Dr. Bobby even got guest speakers to talk from the hospital in town. The day of the fair was here. We were ready and set to go. We hung our huge banner near the booth, "Rollin' in the Dough." Half the booth was Ellie's bakery foods. She even baked homemade bread. The other half was dedicated to Alzheimer's research with a hospital bed. We set a goal to fill the entire bed with money. Each donation got one of Ellie's signature cookies drizzled with honey. The cookies were so delicious, people kept coming back to donate more. By the end of the night, the money was spilling out onto the floor. Just then, Ellie came over carrying a chocolate cream pie. We all looked up as a shooting star flashed across the sky. "Quick, make a wish," said Ellie, "but don't tell a soul." Then she served us each a slice, and the pets got to lick the bowl. To be continued.